Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction and haunted entertainment industry. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you.
Yes.
You can find us wherever fine podcasts are distributed. They let us in with a riff-raff.
Yeah.
So please catch us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And also, don't forget, Haunt Weekly on Facebook and Haunt Weekly on Twitter. All the places to find us. Crystal, it's good to be back again.
It is.
For the second time today.
Yes.
Okay. Real fast, we did the recording of this podcast previously, and then we didn't have it anymore. The mic died about two-thirds of the way through it, and we decided, even though we could just stitch it together really fast, that we really wanted to go back and say things a little better in some places.
Yeah.
So we took it as an opportunity.
Yes, we're always looking for opportunities and new experiences, so this is one of them.
Yes, indeed. Well, on that note, this is episode 32.
Yes.
And those of you who know your math know 32 is divisible by 4.
Correct.
And if you've been listening to Haunt Weekly, you know if an episode is divisible by 4, we do
the news.
That's right, folks. We are doing the news this week, and we have a lot of great stories for you. I am very excited to tear into this in a minute. Some sad news, some happy news.
Yeah.
But a lot to parse through today. A whole lot of stuff to get through.
Right.
On that note, though, we usually open up these things with our conference reminders. I think we should continue that fine tradition.
Yes, and also remember, if you have ones that you don't hear, send them to us.
Once again, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter. Send us a message, send us a DM.
Yeah.
Tweet at us, like us, share it, all that good stuff. Just do it all.
Yep.
Okay, on that note, conference reminders. Are we ready? Want me to start off?
Yes.
Well, first off, coming up later this month, July 29th through 31st in Orland Park, Illinois, it is Chicago Frights. Learn more at chicagofrights.com. It's at the Giorgio's Quality Inn and Suites, and this is known as the sister conference to HauntCon. So if you liked HauntCon, you're probably really going to dig Chicago Frights.
Sounds good. Then, August 6th and 7th, we have Haunt Fair at the Clarion Hotel in Ronkonkoma, New York.
We will never learn how to say that.
I know, I just looked it up, too. I think that was closer.
We're getting better.
It's Haunt-Fair, that's F-A-I-R-E for those playing along at home, .com. They have a fashion show, a car show, an art show, and more. Haunted tour bus of Long Island, not a haunt tour.
Yes, as we've said and reminded people repeatedly, this is actually a bus that goes around to haunty locations in Long Island, I'm hoping, including the Amityville Horror House, which is the most famous one there is on the island.
Yes.
Now, I hear you saying, I really would like to go to Haunt Fair, but I'm on the West Coast. Whatever will I do August 6th and 7th? Well, good news, folks. You can go to the Pasadena Convention Center and attend Scare LA at scarela.com. Elvira is the host. Plenty of Halloween and horror fun to be had there.
Yes. And then we have Halloween and Haunt Fest, August 27th and 28th. This is in Arlington, Texas at the Arlington Convention Center. Halloween and Haunt.com is where to go to find out more information.
You can use the code. You might be able to use the code.
Yeah, you might be able to use the code.
Expires, but if you're in luck, you can use the code EARLYBIRD, get 25% off your ticket. Totally awesome.
Yeah.
And big thanks again to Brian Foreman at Haunt Topic Radio for the heads up on this one.
And for the mention for last week, because we will...
Yeah, we made a joke about him owing us advertising money, and totally doesn't, but...
We accepted,
we accepted the gift anyway, because that's how we are.
The gift of, mentioning us.
Mention us, yeah. It's a sweet gift.
It is.
It's the gift of thinking of us.
Yes.
Okay, after that, on September 9th through 11th, you have Mask Fest in Indianapolis, Indiana, the Marriott Indianapolis East, not that stinking low-down Marriott Indianapolis West.
I'm sure that exists, so maybe you shouldn't say that.
Darn no good West. But you can learn more about the Marriott Indianapolis East at maskfest.com.
Right, and since that is right before season starts, be sure when you're trying on all those masks to take precautions not to get other people's germs.
Last thing you want to do is have the flu for the entirety of haunt season.
Yeah, that would suck. Right. And finally, we have Legendary Haunt Tour, November 11th through 12th, just after haunt season ends. And it's put in Pittsburgh. The hotel's still to be announced. And
Yes,
it's
I
by the
checked out one
Trans
today.
World People.
Yes.
And visiting Scare House and 100 Acres Manor.
Now, if only we got to talk about 100 Acres Manor more this episode. Wouldn't that be swell?
That would be
Would be really
interesting.
swell.
An interesting segue, yeah.
It would be interesting.
Anyway, you can find more information about that at legendaryhaunttour with 2ts.com.
Haunt tour.
Tour.
Haunt tour. Yes, that's right. We believe in spelling our words out in this industry.
Yes.
Now, as we said, this is a news episode, so we have a lot to go through. But we're starting off with kind of a downer.
Right. As we alluded to on last episode.
Yeah, some ugliness went down in our industry.
Yes. Ugliness went down, so we are going to talk a little bit more about Haunters Against Hate.
Well, and to be clear, Haunters Against Hate is not the ugliness. They are the awesomeness of the industry.
Yes.
They are the response to the ugliness.
Yes.
Just to be totally clear about whose side we're on.
Yes.
Okay, I'd actually heard of this group before all this went down, but only kind of, because they're not in our region. But Ohio Valley Haunts, that group.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Haunters Against Hate, and I'm like, that's impossible. They were only... made the day before, so...
No. Ohio Valley Haunts is a haunt review group from the Ohio River Valley area, and that actually includes a pretty big part of the country. It's Ohio, some of Pennsylvania, goes all the way up to Detroit. You know, it covers a lot of ground.
Right, and for a reference point, they visited 30 haunted houses last year and reviewed 72 in the area.
Yeah, so that's a lot of haunts, big review group in the area. It's headed up by two guys, Jim, who is the webmaster, and Gary, who is the founder. This is their self-identified name.
Yes.
It's self-identified title descriptions, I should say.
Yes.
Jim, on his Twitter, following the Orlando shooting, said some frankly disgusting things.
Yes. There are screenshots of it. We will not repeat what he said.
We will not repeat what he said, but it suffice to say he used slurs against homosexuals. Yeah. And he said, basically at one point, that the only thing that made him sad about the shooting was that the name he wanted to see on the list wasn't on it. It's truly terrible stuff.
Yeah.
And it obviously and understandably angered a lot of people in our community. And almost immediately, I mean, like that, it seemed like, some 23 haunts got together and demanded that Ohio Valley Haunts, once again, previously a pretty respected group here, remove the reviews and their ads and everything by August 1st. Right. Drop us ASAP, basically, that's what they said.
Yeah, we don't want any association with you.
We don't want anything to do with you and your hate. Yeah. And the group, Haunters Against Hate, was founded. It's a Facebook group, so if you go to facebook.com/Haunters Against Hate, you can like the page, and you should.
Yes, they have about 1,300 so far.
And still trickling up. But yeah, they emerged as a response to this. And right. And I think that what they've been doing is great. They have a cafe press store with t-shirts and other odds and ends. All the proceeds from that are going to LGBT groups. Right. Now, this sent some shockwaves through the community, and it impacted our house very strongly. Because we are very, very much pro-LGBT in this house.
Well, yes, we have 3 LGBT members in this house, myself included.
Yes, I am the lone straight person in the house. And, you know, we were talking about it previously. One of the things that drew both of us to the haunt community was how inclusive it was, and still is, I think. Because we're all kind of weirdos in this industry in our own way.
We are the outcasts.
And I admit, as a heterosexual, cisgender, white male, my marginalization is minimal at best. Right. But I mean, I was still the weird kid. Right. I still didn't get on with society. I still, you know what I mean? Yeah. I had a lot of those issues. And the result of that was the haunt community was a place that I was accepted, I was loved, and I could stand shoulder to shoulder with people not like me at all, and we could do great things together. Right. And I love that.
Yeah, it's part of what makes our community so great is that we accept everybody.
We don't care if you're gay, straight, black, white, something else, rich, poor. If you like scaring
disabled, people... come on.
If you like scaring people, we got the industry for you. Yeah. We are an industry united by a common love. not over a common hate.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah, and we're also an industry of creatives, of outside-of-the-box thinkers, and just, we're not normal guys.
Yeah, we're not. We're not.
We're normal within our own confines, but outside in the real world, most of us, we can pass, but that's about it.
Yeah, we are a community of outsiders. It's like this. If our industry had a slogan, maybe we need one, it'd be, bring us your freaks, bring us your weirdos, bring us the odd people that don't fit anywhere else. We will make them our brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
We will give them family.
Right.
And there's a reason haunts call themselves Haunt Family.
Yeah.
It's because this isn't just an industry of friends. This isn't just an industry of, you know what I mean?
Right.
People who loosely talk to one another occasionally.
No.
It's a brotherhood. It's a family.
Yeah, and it's a very small community in the overall picture.
And so, that really upset me, both as someone who is very personally upset by attacks on the LGBTQ community.
Right.
But also, as a haunter, that one of the reasons he's here is the inclusiveness. It felt like an attack on the haunt community, too.
Yeah, it really did, and it was atrocious.
It was. It's absolutely horrifying what he said. And the part that makes it even worse, and yes, it can get worse, folks, is that not only is there no apology.
Right.
Not on their Facebook, not on their Twitter, not anywhere. I've been checking.
Right.
No apology, nothing said. At least not as of the time we're recording this. We haven't seen one. But a few days afterward, Gary, the other one...
Yeah, Jim was the one that posted the anti-gay stuff
on his Twitter. Gary went on to the actual Facebook page for Ohio Valley Haunts and did a post that's since been removed, basically saying it was shocking and horrifying that haunted attractions were both owned by and staffed by former sex workers.
Yeah, which is just...
I think he was referring to porn stars, but sex workers in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's attack another marginalized group in society. Come on.
Right. I mean, it has no relevance on whether or not you're a haunter. It really doesn't.
No.
And I don't see why he would even take this up as an issue.
It's not an issue. It's the opposite of an issue.
I know. That's why I don't understand it.
It is so... I mean, honestly, I am more shocked that we have a haunt review community run by a bunch of bigots than I ever would be that we have a haunt run by a sex worker.
Yeah.
I find one of those way more offensive than the other.
Yeah, me too. No kidding.
And so, I don't know. That is just... Is he afraid he's going to get cooties?
No.
Thank God it's a no-touch haunt. I mean, what's... I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know his logic behind having this biased.
No.
I can't even think of a reason.
Yeah.
The only things I can come up with is... what if some kid that works in the haunt finds out and goes and look at videos online? Well, they can find those anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There's no logic
and
to
if
it.
it's a safety issue...
How?
Because when you're working on haunt, sometimes you will get cut.
Well, yeah.
And if there is a stigma in the porn industry that,
Yeah.
That
you're stretching. So I know you're doing it for the purpose of trying to...
I'm trying, and I just really cannot get there. I cannot understand this guy. I do not agree with him.
And to say these things in the current climate, with not just the Orlando shooting, with everything that's happened since, all this divisive stuff.
Right. I mean,
if there's ever been a
country hurting.
If there's ever been a time in U.S. history we need to come together, work together, share a few smiles.
Right.
And have a drink with one another, it's now. And not this extra divisive stuff. So, I mean, these guys really upset me. I had nothing to do with them beforehand. No. I can guarantee you I will have nothing to do with them now.
Correct.
That much is obvious. They're redesigning their site, which is weird because they're not updating it. It looks like the original layout looks like a site from like 1996.
Yeah.
And the new one does too, actually. So maybe Jim's not very good at that webmaster thing. I don't know.
I don't know. It's
on top of not being a good person.
I just really...
Yeah. So anyways, getting back to the story, though, Haunters Against Hate was the Haunters' response to this.
Correct.
Haunters got together, they formed a group on Facebook, and it is awesome. They're doing great stuff, and they're serving as a meeting ground for haunters who are against this type of stuff.
Right.
And that's one of the things I do love about this community is that we can and will rally when we need to.
Right.
We are very good at that. We took up arms and we're pushing back against this. And we are saying this does not represent our community. This does not represent our industry.
Yeah.
We are not like those two idiots.
Correct.
And I think that is the way we should be doing it. So, yes, go to facebook.com/HauntersAgainstHate. Like the page, check it out. And I want to say a personal thanks to Emily Elswick.
Yes.
She let us know about it. She let us know about it like an hour before we recorded the last one.
Right, so which is why it just got a brief mention.
We only had like 2 seconds to parse it. I'm sorry we couldn't donate more time to it last week. Hopefully this is more of what we wanted to say this time around.
Right. Yeah,
Makes me sick.
Yeah.
It really does. It offends me in every way possible.
Yeah.
Well, you want to do happier news now?
Yeah, let's move on to different news.
Because we got a really cool one to lead off with this portion.
We do.
Yeah.
We were just talking
about 100 acre forest.
Yeah.
100 acre manor. Sorry, I get confused with the Winnie the Pooh thing, alright?
I know.
We've been over this.
I know.
I even stopped making the joke and it didn't help.
I know.
But yes, the team behind that spent a little time in Dubai recently.
Yes.
And they have built and have now successfully opened, the first haunted attraction in Dubai, and for some distance around it. I tried to find out if it was the only haunted attraction in the Middle East, and I failed partly because it's hard to identify what is and is not the Middle East. You get into some weird geopolitical stuff when you start talking about that.
Right.
But regardless, they opened up Hysteria, a haunted attraction in Dubai. It's 3,500 square feet, not a tiny thing. It's in the Dubai Mall, the iconic Dubai Mall. But by the way, the mall gets 80 million visitors a year.
Right. It gets a ton of people, and they have stores like Chanel and, high-end fancy stores, and then they open up a haunted house in there, which we should specify they are not the operators. Yes. They just help build it.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently this negotiation took a while, though.
Yeah, the entrepreneur came over to the States a few years ago and toured several haunts, including 100 Acres Manor, and decided that he liked those guys and approached them right afterwards because he was so impressed.
Yeah, that's how you know you got a good haunt right there.
Yeah.
When some guy literally goes up the exit and goes, "Hey, I want to talk to you about building a haunt for me."
Yeah.
That's good work right there. That's how you know you did something good. But yeah, the team behind it is called Extreme Fear. And they built Hysteria over the course of May and June. And it has since opened. And apparently it's been doing quite well for itself. There's a video online. You can look it up. It's actually in the article. And it shows... culture, it's interesting. You think of Dubai as like the opposite culture in the United States in so many ways.
Right.
But throw people into a haunted house, it's the exact same reactions.
Yes.
It's the exact same everything, man. We are united by fear, it seems, in this regard. But they did say that the area has a huge love for U.S. horror films.
Right. So they aren't completely...
No, they get horror, but they're unfamiliar with the touchstones and other cultural elements surrounding it.
Right.
And it should also be noted, this is a year-round haunted attraction. Obviously, it's opening now.
Yeah. Well, and like many other countries, haunted houses in other countries don't have the tethering to Halloween that we do in the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. Because, we've talked about that in the year-round haunt one, about how in the United States there's such a cultural connection between haunted attractions and Halloween that it's like there's no other time of the year you would think to go.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why year-round attractions really struggle in the U.S. Elsewhere, they have better opportunities because, hey, you can go anytime. It's like bagel. It's like pizza on a bagel. You can have pizza anytime. It's great.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, this like I say, it's a really amazing thing. And looking at the build and looking at what they showed, it's incredible work these guys do. They said that as they were building it.
Yeah.
They got a lot of attention from passerbys.
Right.
Which I
very excited about it.
I can believe this. And they got a lot of confusion from the local construction team.
Which I can also believe and do think that
So you want this to look like it's broken.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was
You don't want it to look nice and finished and everything?
Yeah, this is Dubai where everything is like flipping gorgeous and huge and and perfect and here they come, they build a haunted house that's meant to look rusty and destroyed and dingy and dirty. Yeah, this is the exact antithesis of everything we think of when we think of Dubai construction.
Yeah.
So, I bet it was a unique challenge for the local construction team.
Well, probably. And they also have actors as well as animatronics in it. And since it is a new market, completely new market, they were able to use older props and things and still get great reactions from people. So
yeah. And that's one of the things that's going to be interesting to watch as the haunted attraction industry gets into other countries, is how those markets sort of become more savvy about haunted attractions. Because, here in the United States, we have this history that goes all the way back to the 1970s. And we've been, if you are older than, if you're younger than like 60 or so, you probably grew up going haunts. Even if you are 60, I guess, you probably still grew up going to haunts. You'd have to be a very old person, basically, not to have experience with haunts when you were younger in this country. And the result of that is we have a very, very savvy audience. They're used to seeing things. They're used to the distracting startles. They're used to the same old scares. Elsewhere, imagine if you had never seen a drop panel before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember my first time seeing a drop panel. Yeah. It was awesome.
Exactly. Imagine all that. Imagine if you could do all that to a new audience. How amazing that would be.
Thousands of new people.
Every day.
To get.
Not just like one random new haunted house virgin that shows up every night or whatever. A couple that show up every night.
What is this, Rocky?
Yeah, exactly. An entire line of people that have never been to a haunted attraction before waiting for you to scare them.
Right.
That's
exciting, is what that is. That is exciting.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the reactions they were getting on that little video were priceless, and it almost makes me want to go to Dubai.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much real tragedy and things to be fearful of. It's nice to have a place to go to have safe fear.
Yeah. Well, and
I think that we provide an important thing for that.
It's a catharsis. And, I put us up there with like roller coasters and other thrill-based attractions.
Right.
Where it's a safe way to get that adrenaline going, to feel the fear without ever being in actual harm's way.
Right.
And it's a catharsis. It's something that we enjoy the high up. It also, I think, in a small way, helps us deal with the real tragedies when we have to.
Right.
So anyways, I think this is absolutely awesome. Congratulations to Extreme Fear on the build and the gig and being the team to, I guess, pioneer a brand new market for haunted attractions.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys. That is just amazing. All right. Other news.
Okay.
The Walking Dead quote-unquote maze, has opened. It is opened on July 4th at Universal Studios Hollywood. We talked about it being built previously.
Right. Well, and speaking of year-round attractions, this one is. It's finished. It's open. You can go to it, and the early reviews have been very good. Yes.
All in all, this is apparently, and this is all this is coming from an article we're linking to on Mashable, in which the show's executive producer is talking about the attraction. So,
because he did have a hand in it.
He had a hand in it. He was involved in it. He wasn't just like, oh yeah, here it is, it's nice. No,
right.
He actually helped build it.
Yeah.
It's a complete retelling of the story. What they did is they condensed, I think it's 6 seasons. I don't watch Walking Dead. I probably shouldn't admit that.
Yeah, we're probably the only people in the haunted industry who haven't.
We didn't have cable forever.
I know.
We only recently got it back.
We do have it in Netflix, though, and we can watch it there.
Yes, we should watch it. We really should.
Yeah.
But regardless, they condensed the entire 6 seasons into the attraction, focusing on key sequences and locations.
Right, exactly what we were talking about last week.
With the backstory and integrating to a haunt.
Right. That if you write something down that's memorable, you better make sure it's in your haunt. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did. They took, 6 seasons worth and condensed it down into several rooms.
They hit the bullet points, and
yeah,
it sounds awesome. It uses 20 animatronics. And another thing I found interesting, they did not say how many, but they said a large number of actors, which is one of the things a lot of year-round attractions do, because one of the problems with the year-round attractions is they are expensive to have a large number of full-time people.
Right.
So what they do is they try to skimp on people.
Right.
Universal says, screw that.
Yeah.
We're gonna arm up. We need an army of zombies, and god damn it, we're gonna have an army of zombies.
Yeah. So that's really interesting that you can probably now get a full-time job at Universal working as a zombie in Walking Dead. That sounds kind of awesome.
If you can do that and afford a house in Los Angeles, I will be very impressed.
Yes. But anyway, it still sounds like a good gig.
It sounds like a good,
and they have a built-in audience too.
Yes, they do. And like we said, the initial reviews have been very, very good. One guy was apparently confused.
Yeah, he was confused about the direction because, Universal's been doing this thing where they did Minions and then Harry Potter, and it's been more immersive. And this seems to die.
Yeah, come on. You can get
misdirect a little bit.
Go ahead. Yeah,
be in a little bit of a different direction. Part of the reason is because it is an over 13 attraction. At least recommended. Don't know if that's a hard deadline.
Hard limit, yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand them, because you're right. It's like Minions, Harry Potter, Walking Dead. It's like one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, and it's a totally different kind of scary than some of the areas in Harry Potter, because Harry Potter apparently has some spookiness, but it's not scare.
Yeah.
It's not gore.
But the thing about it is, a lot of theme parks are trying to target that teenage to young adult audience more.
Right.
And the reason is, this whole thing about, all theme parks should be family friendly, you bring the family. What they end up doing is they end up making a lot of crap for the kids to do.
Right.
And then a handful of things for the adults to do.
Yeah.
Like going and drinking around the world at Epcot.
Yes.
But they don't make a whole lot for the kids, like the teenagers and the young adults. Like the 13 to 19 crowd kind of gets screwed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to Disney World at 16, and other than Alien Encounters, really not having a lot that I felt was targeted at me.
I can understand that, because other than, some of the rides, you're not there for the characters.
Mm-mm. I mean, I really couldn't go to, Pleasure Mountain, Pleasure Island, sorry, which was the adult-themed area. They had the arcade that I didn't make it to, but, you know what I mean? There wasn't a whole hell of a lot targeted at me other than some of the roller coasters.
Right.
So this is, I think, an attempt to reach that particular core audience, because haunted attractions in general target males age 13 to 25, usually.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the core meat and potatoes audience for most haunted attractions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's what they're going for, and they're trying to give something for that group to do, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, the other thing that I find exciting about it is that since it is a year-round installation, they were able to put time and money into the set builds, because there is a difference between doing a complete tear-down haunt and building one that's going to be there a while.
Yeah.
And it usually does show in the build.
It does. Even someone as awesome at building as Universal is going to have to make sacrifices to do a knockdown haunt.
Right.
Now, granted, I've seen some knockdown haunts that don't look like knockdown haunts, but...
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, your point remains.
Yep.
Well, while we're talking about Universal Studios...
Yeah, they've announced another Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, Universal Studios in Orlando has announced a Halloween 2 inspired house entitled Halloween Hell Comes to Haddonfield. Now, they've previously announced The Exorcist, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and, of course, the Walking Dead themes.
Right.
Now they're tacking on Halloween. So Michael Myers will be making an appearance.
Yes.
Now, one thing that seems like they were burying a key lead here.
Yes. Got one sentence.
Got one sentence in the foot of this article. We'll seriously read this article. Chance, the right-hand woman of Halloween Horror Nights character Jack the Clown, think of her as the Harley Quinn character, will take over as the main star.
Right.
Meaning that Halloween Horror Nights will have a female lead.
Which is awesome.
It's big news, guys.
Yeah, because there are not enough female leads in haunted houses, in horror in general, and scary roles.
Yeah.
You know, it is actually a topic very dear to my heart.
For obvious reasons.
Yes. Yes. I play a scary character.
Mm-hmm.
I've almost never played a non-scary character.
Never went for cute or sexy or...
No, the only time that happened was in a haunt that asked me to play that role.
Yeah.
Because they didn't think of me as scary until the bathroom guy didn't show up one night.
But,
you know?
But, you know, you actually can be very scary. And I'm looking at photos of Chance.
Right.
Here. I've never, unfortunately, been able to make it to Halloween Horror Nights. She looks both sexy and scary in the same breath.
Well, yeah, there's not necessarily a distinction between those, and...
Not mutually exclusive.
Right.
But still, she looks genuinely terrifying.
Right.
So, and it's a good thing. And... That is something, we're talking about this in a future episode. We're trying to pull this episode together on this exact topic about women haunting. By the way, listeners, if you want to help us, we have been on a hunt for the past few weeks and we've been unsuccessful. So we're turning to you guys. We're trying to find a woman who either owns or has a management level position at a haunt.
Yes. I've tried to find a directory of haunt owners and I can't find it anywhere. Maybe I'm just looking for the wrong thing.
We know plenty of women who are actors in haunts, and we're bringing one on, hopefully, for the show when we record it.
Right.
We know people who are involved in various other capacities.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we know, like, some haunts have women, like, especially like the wives of the owner or so forth, will take various roles on.
Right.
But maybe are not creatively involved in the haunt.
Right. And, you know, typical jobs for women behind the scenes would be costuming and makeuping. I think that's fair. But a lot of the roles that women are put in are not scary roles. And it's really bothersome. We have this thing that we do every year. We go to, you know, name some costume store, insert costume store name here, and try to find their scariest costume for a female character.
And it usually is almost impossible to even name one.
Yeah. Specifically for female, not gender neutral, although those are the types of costumes I like. But it's hard to find. Yeah. It really is.
So, yeah, we have a much lengthier talk about this coming. But yes, help us by pointing us the direction of someone who might be willing to be on this podcast talking about women in haunting and women-owned haunts.
Right.
Or women-managed haunts. So, yeah, we would love to have that conversation. So, if you know someone, drop us a line. Once again, Twitter, Haunt Weekly, Facebook, Haunt Weekly. Let us know. Right.
We can do it over Skype, or if you're close enough, we can make a drive.
Yes. All right. So, shifting gears.
Yes.
Wow, that was a detour.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's a passion subject.
It is.
A haunted attraction in Westland, which coincidentally is just west of Detroit, has been approved for 2 years at its new location, apparently on the grounds of a local roller rink, Skateland West. The city council gave the 2-year approval for the land use, and it will be used for both a haunted attraction and a Christmas attraction. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this, because it was very interesting, the article goes into great detail about the negotiations they had to do with the city council, the fire marshal, and everyone else to make this happen.
And the neighbors.
And the neighbors, yes.
Yes.
Now, basically, what they had to do is, if you look at it on Google Maps, their lot is at the corner of 2 major streets,
right,
with the roller rink being sort of right at the very, very tip of the corner. They were going to put the haunted attraction in the deep corner away from both roads, but now they've moved it back to the road, back down to the Cherry Hill Road, one of the main roads nearby.
Right.
And that had 2 advantages.
Yes.
One is it moved it away from the neighbors that were concerned about noise issues.
Yes.
And second, it put them closer to a fire hydrant, which greatly appeased the fire department.
Yes.
There was also a bunch of other issues, including they had to agree to not use amplified sound or music as part of the attraction.
Right, and puts a parking lot between them and the neighbors by moving it that far away.
Yes.
There's also a temporary structure that they were originally going to have. It sounded like visitors walk through. Now they're going to be walking around it. And,
there are apparently some wooded areas.
Right. It's going to be closer to the wooded area and be more of a haunted trail than a walk
That was
through
the
a
ducky
haunted
issues over
structure.
whether the building needed sprinklers.
Right.
So yeah, also they will not be offering any roller skating when the haunt is open, which I found interesting.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's a parking issue,
Yeah, I don't know.
or if it's because they don't want scared people running into the roller rink.
I don't know what the thought there is.
I don't know either. Or maybe they just aren't permitted to have 2 attractions at once.
Maybe, I don't know. But they will be open 21 days between late September and Halloween. And we wish them the best. The attraction is not named, but it sounds like they've got the go-ahead after a pretty difficult fight, all in all.
Yeah.
Had to really go to town on this. All right, and another haunted attraction that won its approval. This one hits a little close to home.
A little bit.
An Albany, California haunt called the Albany Haunted House. I know.
Right,
But-
Albany Haunted House. It is a home haunt, which
is a
is
home
why
haunt.
it's close to home.
Yes, it's a home haunt. They were nearly shut down last year due to complaints from a neighbor to city council. The two sides went back and forth, and they won approval to be open during the year, barely like minutes before they had to open.
Right, and these guys are only open 2 nights.
Yeah,
Basically, the 30th and the 31st.
yeah,
Those are the nights they are open.
yeah. Like us, and like most home haunts, a very limited run.
Right.
This year they got their approval early. The neighbor that issued the complaints came out and said he actually had no problem with them.
Yeah.
He found the impedance on him very reasonable last year and was there actually to support them this time around. Now they did make some sacrifices.
Right.
They are reducing the size of their temporary structure from 900 square feet to 686.
Correct.
And they're moving it away from a shared fence, that fence they share with that neighbor.
Right, and they're also limiting their construction period to 5 weeks.
Which is tight, but they say they can do it in 3 weeks. They just want to make sure they've got time for the inspections.
Right, they have to have 2 inspections at different points in the construction by the council.
Yes. And the thing about it is this is put on by a 16-year-old high school junior
Right.
who's doing this to raise money and canned food for a local food bank. So it's
Right.
awesome stuff. Wish him the best. And the photo in the article looks really, really cool, too. Check out this link and see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got a Facebook page where he posts a
Yeah.
walkthrough video and some photos of the makeups and things that they do. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's good news all around. Okay, from 2 haunts that are getting the go-ahead, now we talk to one that's had some pretty serious setbacks.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel for you guys.
Yeah. In Lockport, Illinois, 2 men, Jonathan Chamberlain and Marcus Hibbs, were arrested and charged with felony criminal damage to property over alleged vandalism of Hell's Gate Haunted House.
Yes, Hell's Gate's the people that I feel for, not the 2 douchebags.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, we're having to do a lot of clarification today just to make sure everyone
I think my editor brain is on. I think that's what's going on.
I hear you. Now, the damage was done about 2 weeks ago, and apparently it was about $10,000 in damage to the haunt.
Yeah, which is just... they haven't disclosed what the vandalism was.
Or what they did, or how they
Right.
did, how they got in there, or
Right.
anything.
But I'm really curious, because that's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage.
Well,
And-
or it could just be damage to one giant
Right.
animatronic,
Yeah,
or
who
2.
knows? We don't know much about this haunt. We do know the guy who operates it has a long history with other attractions. And
Right.
has been in the haunt industry for a long, long time, but he's been struggling to get this one open. It hasn't even opened yet.
Yeah.
Ever. It was supposed to be open in 2015,
Right.
but they were not able to open due to, just as I said, many variables that were out beyond their control. And now their 2016 opening has already been pushed back to October.
Right, it's been pushed back 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks to make up for the damage done by these 2 yahoos.
Yeah, it's just a sad story.
I mean, God, people, we talked earlier about how sometimes you just don't understand people.
Yeah.
I don't understand people that go around breaking other people's stuff.
No.
I mean, even if you have a grudge against this guy, this doesn't make sense.
No. I mean, we've ejected people once
Yeah.
from our little home haunt, but luckily, we were open and there and knew it was going on. This apparently happened about 2 weeks ago.
No one was on site.
No one was on site, and they just went in and found the damage,
Yeah.
which sucks.
It does suck. Like I said, we don't know what they did. It's not stated anywhere in the article or the police report,
Yeah.
but still, it sucks. The haunt, like I said, their opening's been pushed back. Just a rough day all around, it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't... Why on earth would you damage a haunted attraction's property?
I have no idea.
I'm thinking there's got to be more to the story, but maybe there isn't,
Maybe it's just two guys decided that they were going to go in,
Two terrible, terrible people who decided to break other people's stuff. $10,000 worth of it. Just wow. All right. And our final story this week, trick-or-treating in Columbus, Wisconsin. Now, we were just flipping talking about this,
yes,
weren't
we were on our questions episode.
Our rapid-fire questions.
Yes, which we should rename Lanyap, because we're from New Orleans.
That's got a point, yeah. All right. If you are a trick-or-treater or parent of trick-or-treating in the city of Columbus, Wisconsin, your city council has voted to move trick-or-treating from October 30th, which is a Monday this year, October 31st, which is a Monday this year, to the Saturday before, the 29th.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, this is something of a tradition in Columbus. They seem to do this pretty regularly. They think it's better for working parents. They don't have to race them. Like every parent who works Monday through Friday.
Yeah, and the other weird thing about this is that they have scheduled trick-or-treating hours.
Yeah, 5 to 8.
5 to 8. So if it would be during rush hour, because that's the perfect time. Even on Saturdays, 5 p.m.'s pretty busy here. I don't know what it's like there, but...
Most haunted attractions, don't even open until around 7 or 8.
Right. Now, we have had trick-or-treaters as early as 4.
Yeah, but that's like a little babies.
Yeah, that's like 4 and 5-year-olds, but,
Yeah, we get them early, and that's fine.
But we also get them later.
Now, the reason we're against this in general is because it never works.
Right.
We've been in town... Oh, go ahead.
No, that's okay. The advantage that these guys have is that they do, like you say, have a tradition of it, and they are giving months warning.
Yes, they are announcing this in July.
Right.
So that's good. But yeah, every time, like last year, the city of New Orleans said we're doing trick-or-treating Friday because bad weather was coming into town.
Right.
A, the bad weather never materialized.
Right.
Screw you, weather forecasters. And B, it just meant we had 2 nights of people showing up expecting candy.
Right. That's all it meant.
Some people got the message and went out Friday. Some of them didn't get the message or ignored it and went out Saturday. And some people decided, yay, 2 nights of candy for me, and went out both.
Right. Which is,
Which is the outcome that's perfectly predictable.
Yeah.
I'm about 100% sure we're doing, barring another disaster hurricane type scenario here.
Right.
We're doing trick-or-treating and all Halloween activities on Halloween here in New Orleans. I think that's how it should be, if at all possible.
But apparently if you live in Columbus, Wisconsin, you should just plan on your Halloween trick-or-treat night to be the last Saturday of October.
Yeah. So
I wonder if they would ever move it to the first Saturday in November, if it was on like a Thursday.
Oh, I don't know.
That would be horrible. Yeah. That's not even the right month.
Well, it's frustrating for all the reasons we just discussed, but
right.
I understand their logic. I do think they are right that it is better for parents who do work a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
But that seems awfully presumptive that all parents,
Yeah.
Because you had a job where you worked weekends more frequently than weekdays.
Yeah, I've had 3 Saturdays off since November, and all 3 of those were scheduled. I had to schedule them to be off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's 6-7 months?
Yeah, so, what about you? You actively would be screwed by that if you were still at that job.
Yeah, because I was closing too, so I didn't get off until 8:15.
Yeah, you already missed trick-or-treating completely.
I know. I wouldn't have gotten home till 8:30.
Yeah.
Do my non-existent kids not get to go? But if I did have, younger kids that needed to go trick-or-treating, they wouldn't have been able to if I lived there.
Not with you, at least.
Yes.
They might have had someone else take them or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Real quick, since we're got a few extra minutes.
Right.
We did get one piece of news that's not in the show notes, but we got it just before you came on to the record this. If you are a fan of Lego,
Yes.
that is grammatically correct. You are a fan of Lego, and you are a fan of haunty and horror stuff.
And you're listening to this podcast
You
because you are.
You better damn well be, or you just wasted the past 50-odd minutes of your life.
Yeah.
But if those things are true, the Addams Family Mansion Lego set is a step closer to reality.
Yay!
It was on the Lego Ideas site. They have this Lego Ideas site.
Right.
Think of it like Steam Greenlight or Kickstarter type thing.
Right.
Where you put an idea up there and see if there's anything to back it.
Yeah.
Except that this, you're not actually backing it with money. You're backing it with votes and seeing what gets the most attention. Well, apparently it was a popular enough idea that the company Lego is now seriously looking at building this set.
Yes.
And taking it to the next phase. And I gotta say, I have not bought a Lego set for myself in 20 years.
Yeah, but I would be buying this one.
I'd be buying this one.
Yep.
I know it's going to be expensive.
I don't care. Take my money.
It's a huge set.
Yes.
So it's going to be expensive.
Yes.
But shut up and take my money.
Yes.
Is the only correct response to this.
Right.
So yeah, that's going to be really, really awesome when it comes out. If it comes out. If it comes out, it's still just going to like a planning committee thing where they're going to investigate it.
Well, they have all the Addams Family figurines, like the little
Lego
lurch and
Lego
maybe a wind-up thing or something, or his little box with it inside.
That'd be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I think right now it is just the house that they're talking about.
I think it is just us. But the biggest challenge is going to be getting the rights to everything.
Right.
And they're going to have to see how expensive that is, if it's worthwhile. So, yeah, but at least this point now, Lego HQ is seriously contemplating it. That's huge.
Yes.
That is huge. And I'm very, very excited.
Fans of the TV show, yes, it was a TV show for those of you who didn't know, because I found out there are some people who didn't. And the movies.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get depressed when I think there are people who only know the Addams Family from the modern movies.
Yeah, that's just...
Oh, and that makes I feel old. Thank you.
Yeah.
And B, come on, you're missing Carolyn Jones's Tish. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Tish. Well, that seems to be all the news we have. Any final thoughts since we got a couple extra seconds? Or do you want to wrap this one up a few minutes early?
I think we should wrap it up, but we should mention again, everybody go over
to Haunters.
Like Haunters Against Hate
on Facebook. Give them likes. There are some great conversations taking place in user posts.
Right.
And they are doing a great job staying on top of both this situation and anything else like this going on in the haunt community, because we as a community have to speak out against this stuff, and otherwise this could be something that we're known for. And
yeah,
that it's not me. It doesn't represent me. It doesn't represent the haunters. I know. We have to make sure that we deal with this as a community.
Right.
Yeah, so definitely go check out Haunters Against Hate. Give them a like. See all the things they're doing. Maybe snap up a t-shirt or two if you want.
Yeah.
Good way to contribute. Also, while you're on Facebook, you can find us at Haunt Weekly. We are there. Give us a like. Shoot us a message. Let us know anything we might have missed. Any conferences, any news items we might have missed. Please let us know.
Send us those, women-owned haunt ideas.
Do you really think we would be able to find someone much easier than we have?
Yeah, but every time I search for it, it always comes up with McCamey Manor reviews. Seriously, it's like, woman regrets going to extreme haunted house.
Yeah.
It's not...
Not what we're talking about, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why we have to have this upcoming conversation about women and haunting, because... It as inclusive as we are, there are groups that seem to be wholly underrepresented, and we want to explore why.
Right.
And I think that'll be a episode. I don't talk a lot. I know.
Well, it's okay for you to talk on the issue.
Well, I mean, but no, I want. The reason I want to do this is because I want to hear what
other
women
people have to say. Yeah.
I mean, I have no insight. I don't know why women are so rarely owners of haunts and so rarely involved in haunting in the higher levels.
Well, and down here, the haunts that I've been near, it's always been kind of a boys' club.
Yeah.
It really feels like that.
And that's just it. I don't know why that's the case necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know either. Because I grew up with I can do anything you can do.
Yeah. I may unwittingly benefit from that, but I don't understand it and I don't like it.
Right.
So that's what I want to do. I want to get some good, smart women in here in the haunt community. I want to hear what they have to say.
Yep.
I will say very little other than hopefully asking diligent questions.
That would be very prudent of you.
So that'll be a great conversation. Help make that happen. Give us some names. We will make it. We'll make it work. We'll do it through Skype. Audio quality may suffer a little bit, but we'll make it happen one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So on that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Haunt Weekly, episode 32, The News, number 8. Dun dun dun. It was the 8th news show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I got that from.
Gotcha.